Welcome to Soul Music. Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're diving deep into a stack of truly chilling sources, exploring a phenomenon that, well, it really blurs the line between natural wonder and, frankly, supernatural dread. Our mission to pull out the most unsettling, surprising, and terrifying nuggets from what's been called the frozen scream of Gangotri.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how all these different accounts, from scientific expeditions, even ancient manuscripts, they all seem to converge on this single horrifying entity within the Himalayas. We're looking at eyewitness reports, actual scientific data, local lore, and they all describe this glacier that seems almost alive, actively engaged even.
So you're about to hear about something truly unique. It's like a scream frozen in time, but it's also constantly changing. We'll explore its initial really horrifying discovery, the bizarre cyclical nature, and the frankly chilling attempts to understand what it is. You might think you know what to expect, maybe some kind of ice formation, but this deep dive, it uncovers this profound connection between a geological anomaly and, well, ancient, maybe malevolent entities. Let's get into it. Okay, so our journey into the terrifying really kicks off in 1947, high up in the Gangotri Glacier. It was a British survey expedition. Just picture the scene. Remote, desolate landscape, incredibly pristine, but also really unforgiving. And it was here that a geologist, Dr. Aleister Crowley, no relation, thankfully, to the occultist, made a discovery that would, well, forever haunt glaciology and, let's be honest, the realm of outright horror.
He found a human face.
Perfectly preserved in the glacier's ice. But this wasn't, some peaceful ancient mummy, no. This was an expression of pure, unadulterated primal terror.
It's the kind of image that just sears itself into your mind, isn't it? The sources describe it in really excruciating detail. A mouth stretched wide like in a silent shriek, veins bulging on the forehead as if they're about to burst, eyelids peeled right back, revealing these frostbitten corneas. Just horrific.
And Crowley's first reaction, recorded in his journal, it was disbelief, right? Followed by this chilling realization.
Exactly. And his team, they tried to extract the ice block containing the face, but their ropes, they just melted, inexplicably melted right into the glacier ice.
Melted. How does that even happen?
Well, that's the thing. It's as if the ice itself was resisting, actively protecting its gruesome secret.
And the horror just got deeper that very night.
Mhm.
Crowley's journal entry, apparently scrawled by lamplight, it captures this dread he felt. He wrote, "The face isn't frozen in the glacier. The glacier is frozen around it, like it's trying to escape."
Just think about that phrase, not passive preservation, active imprisonment.
And then the next morning, Dr. Crowley himself
Mhm.
vanished without a trace.
Vanished. And the details are so specific, so bizarre. His thermos found still warm, his boots laced neatly beside a newly formed fissure in the ice.
Like he just stepped into it or was pulled in.
It's as if the glacier itself, this monstrous entity, just reached out and consumed him. It wasn't just a disappearance, it felt like a terrifying demonstration of the glacier's living, predatory nature.
A chilling prelude, really, to the truly bizarre behavior that people have observed ever since.
Absolutely. What's particularly striking is how this frozen scream follows this horrifyingly predictable yet constantly evolving annual cycle. So during the harsh Himalayan winter, say November to February, the face solidifies. It becomes this truly silent scream etched deep into the ice, almost like a petrified expression of agony.
Okay, so it freezes solid in winter. Then what?
Then, as summer approaches, usually June to August, it starts to partially melt, and the accounts here get even more unsettling. The lips reportedly move, as if it's struggling to shout something, whispering ancient terrors against its icy prison.
Oh, come on. Moving lips. In the ice?
That's what the reports claim. But the most unsettling part, maybe, is during the monsoon season, September to October. This is when the glacier seems to, well, reset. The face reforms, but here's the kicker. It's slightly different each time.
Different how?
Younger, sometimes, older, other times. That's what the local folklore claims. You can imagine the aha moments for the locals, right? Watching this year after year, passing down stories that suddenly seem terrifyingly real.
And the folklore adds even more layers to this whole mystery. They say during eclipses, multiple faces appear in the ice, like a horrifying chorus of silent terror.
reflecting the celestial alignment in its ghastly presence, perhaps. And it's not just visual either. People who've dared to touch the ice nearby, they report developing frostbite, but not randomly. It appears in patterns that precisely match the wrinkles of the scream itself.
What? Like it transfers the pattern?
It suggests an almost direct transfer, maybe the entity's suffering or its very nature, onto anyone who interacts too closely. It's dynamic, evolving horror, deeply connected to its environment. No wonder people generally keep their distance.
Right. So with all this chilling folklore building up, scientists eventually felt they had to step in, move beyond the legends. So in 1999, the Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology launched an expedition. The hope was, okay, let's apply a scientific lens. Maybe finally demystify this thing.
And their findings? Well, they provided concrete physical evidence that this was truly anomalous, more than just ice. They did sonar imaging. The results were astounding. They revealed a distinct humanoid figure suspended vertically beneath the face.
Beneath it, like inside the glacier.
Exactly, with its arms reaching upward as if desperately trying to break free from under the surface.
Okay, that's disturbing. What else?
Ice core samples taken from the area. They contain traces of human albumin, that's a blood protein. But here's the twist. It was from no known blood type.
No blood type.
Yeah.
Not human. Or something else entirely.
That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? What kind of life form could this possibly be? And maybe the most chilling discovery of all, audio sensors. They picked up regular 32 hertz infrasound pulses.
Infrasound, like super low frequency.
Right. Below human hearing. But 32 hertz, that is the exact frequency of a human scream.
So the ice itself is screaming silently.
As if it were constantly emitting this low, silent cry. It's deeply unsettling.
Absolutely terrifying. A sound you can't hear, but it's there. And the lead researcher, Dr. Enika Desai, she had this observation that just encapsulates the horror, doesn't it?
It really does. Her logs state, and you quoted it before, but it bears repeating, the ice isn't preserving the face, it's feeding on it. Like a cosmic mosquito trapped in amber.
A cosmic mosquito.
Yeah.
That image is just
Wow.
a parasitic relationship. The glacier actively consuming this thing. A slow, horrifying digestion.
And her own fate, tragically, seemed to reinforce that terrifying idea. Her final transmission was cut short. It blinked. Then silence. Radio dead.
Blinked. The face blinked.
That was her last word. And her body was later found, frozen solid, 2 kilometers downstream, in a near-identical screaming pose to the face in the ice. A macabre echo.
So it wasn't just an artifact. It could interact, observe, and clearly kill. The question becomes unavoidable. What exactly were they dealing with? This isn't natural, not in any conventional sense.
Which leads us, inevitably, to perhaps the most terrifying layer of truth. Something unearthed from a stolen tantric manuscript found in Gamurk, near the glacier's snout. This ancient text offers a deeper, you could say supernatural, explanation. It provides a context that somehow ties together all these unsettling, disparate details.
Okay, so what do the manuscripts say?
This is where the ancient lore just perfectly aligns with modern scientific observations, isn't it? It shifts our whole understanding from just a weird geological thing to an active, dangerous entity. The manuscript describes the face as the last Rakshasa of the Himalayas, frozen mid-transformation while devouring a sage.
A Rakshasa. You mentioned that like a demon from Hindu mythology, often flesh-eating.
Precisely. A malevolent being. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, suddenly things that defy science start to make a horrible kind of sense. Its scream, the text claims, actually sustains the glacier, keeps it frozen.
Wait, the scream keeps the glacier frozen, so melting it.
Melting it completely, the manuscript warns, would cause the mountains to vomit forth its kin, other Rakshasas.
Good grief. Okay, that suddenly explains why the Indian government reportedly banned drilling near the site. They're not just protecting scenery, they're potentially containing, well, that.
Exactly, containing a living threat. It also sheds light on those persistent local reports, shadowy figures seen crawling on the glacier at night.
And the smell.
And that distinct sulfur smell that apparently precedes the face's annual reformation. It suggests something supernatural, almost alchemical, is happening. This isn't just a scary story anymore. It's presented as an active containment situation. Terrifying.
Okay, so, wow. What does this all mean for someone who might, actually go near there? Our sources, incredibly, even provide a kind of survival guide, which is just wild in itself. It's not just facts, it's practical, albeit deeply unsettling advice.
It really is. The DAS are remarkably specific, almost ritualistic. If you find yourself nearby, they say, wear mirrored goggles.
Mirrored goggles, why?
Apparently, the Rakshasa hates its own reflection. It's meant to be a protection against its malevolent gaze, according to the lore. Also, carry a silver needle. Piercing nearby ice with it is supposed to disrupt the creature's resonance, temporarily silence that infrasound scream.
Like a tuning fork disruption. Okay. What else?
And maybe most importantly, chanting the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. It's described as the only spiritual invocation powerful enough to briefly silence the scream, give you a moment's respite. It points to a spiritual counter for a supernatural threat.
Okay, those are the DOs. What about the Deonces? I'm guessing they're pretty serious.
Dire consequences, apparently. Number 1, do not take photos.
Why? Bad luck.
Worse, your camera might capture your own screaming face instead of the glacier's. It's described like a direct psychological curse embedded in the act of trying to capture its image.
That's messed up.
Okay, what else?
Do not camp within 1 kilometer. You'll supposedly wake up hoarse from screaming in your sleep.
Yeah.
An echo of the glacier's agony, or maybe it imposing its despair onto you while you rest.
Lovely. And the last one, do not touch any ice that smells like rotting meat. Just a primal warning, really. Stay away from anything that seems actively putrid or dangerous, likely part of its decaying yet active essence.
Right. Good advice in general, I suppose, but especially here.
Which brings us to the present, and this really raises an important question. What happens when something so ancient, so terrifying, starts to adapt? We seem to be entering what some sources are calling the thawing nightmare. It suggests the curse, the entity, whatever it is, it's evolving, becoming more active, maybe more immediate. It's not just about containment anymore.
And the implications are just chilling. There have been recent developments that paint a really alarming picture. In 2023, the face reportedly appeared 200 meters higher up on the glacier than usual, as if it's ascending, moving towards something, or maybe just becoming more prominent.
Higher up, that's significant glacial movement or something else.
Then, in 2024, trekkers started reporting echoes of their own screams coming back at them from the ice.
Oh, that's deeply personal. Terrifying, like it's mimicking its potential victims now.
Or feeding off their fear. And just last week, this is really strange, a drone spotted distinct claw marks leading into the glacier, not out of it.
Into it, not out. So something's being pulled in. Or maybe something else is trying to get to the scream, being drawn to this ancient, screaming heart.
The possibilities are all pretty awful, aren't they?
They really are. And there's one final piece of advice, or maybe a warning, from the source material. It connects to this idea of it becoming more active, more invasive. It says, if you dream of a frozen mouth pressing against yours.
Okay, stop right there. That's horrifying.
The advice is to swallow salt before sleeping, like a ward. It's presented not just as folklore, but as a desperate measure against an invading entity, a spiritual prophylactic against a dream-born attack.
Because, as our sources warn, the scream is learning to breathe again. And that's our deep dive into the Phrasen Scream of Gangotri. We hope you found these insights both compelling and, perhaps a little terrifying. Until next time, keep exploring and keep asking questions.